The blood was still warm when the police arrived. One shot. One scream. And then, silence. Inside that perfect, spotless kitchen lay Marissa Lane. America's tennis sweetheart. Olympic hopeful. 25 years old. Gunned down in cold blood. The world saw her as unstoppable. A golden girl with a platinum future. But behind the medals, behind the filtered Instagram smiles, was a secret, a prison, and the man who built it. His name was Graham Lane. Her father, her coach, her shadow. Just 3 weeks before her murder, Marissa returned from yet another victory. She'd just taken home the Dubai title, her 6th in 2 years. The cameras caught her smile. But inside the jet, she was silent. Somewhere between exhaustion and dread. Home was not a sanctuary. It was a stage. And he was always watching. "Welcome home, champ," he said. That was his nickname for her. Always had been. But lately, it felt more like branding than affection. "He's in a good mood today." But that never lasts. Upstairs, behind Gucci and Gatorade sponsorship gear, was a manila folder. Inside? A deed. Her escape plan. A luxury condo. Paid in full. No shared accounts. Graham hadn't always been like this. When she was 7, he was her biggest cheerleader. He built her a tennis court in the backyard. Quit his job to coach her full-time. People called him devoted. But devotion has a shadow. And Graham's was long. "I feel like I'm not allowed to breathe unless he says I can." He controlled everything. Her schedule. Her bank accounts. Her interviews. Even her wardrobe. Every decision passed through him first. What started as coaching became surveillance. What started as love became control. "I think you should post the photo of us in the rain," he said. "Throwback Thursday. Fans eat that stuff up." "Sure, Dad." She knew what he was doing. Using nostalgia to stake his claim. Rewriting history where he was the hero, and she was the product. "Marissa, he doesn't know. I move out on the 30th. Her assistant could. But be careful. Marissa, I think he's suspicious." What she didn't know was that he already knew everything. Because Graham Lane never stopped watching. Hidden in her laptop, spyware. Installed years ago. Her bank statements. Her new address. Her emails. He saw it all. And just like that, the switch flipped. "I saw the email," he said. His voice, level. His eyes, "You lied to me." "Breathe. Stay calm." "I'm moving out," she said. "It's time." He stood slowly. "I gave you everything. You'd be nothing without me." She stepped back. "I don't belong to you." A strange, dangerous smile. "You'll see," he said. "You'll understand. One day." "He's unraveling," she told her therapist. "If I leave, I don't know what he'll do." Graham Lane was a man who had already lost his identity. And in 3 weeks, he would lose what was left of his soul. The countdown had begun. And no one, not Marissa, not her friends, not even the therapist, could stop what was coming. At exactly 2:13 am, a soft click echoed through the sprawling Florida villa. The kind of click you'd barely notice, unless you were already wide awake. Unless you were waiting for it. Elena heard it. A whisper of metal on wood. The unmistakable sound of the front door opening. She froze beneath her silk bedsheets. Her breath held captive in her throat. Her phone buzzed once on the nightstand, but she didn't dare reach for it. For a moment, silence. Then footsteps. Slow. Cautious. Deliberate. Were they hers? Her father never left the house at night. Not unless he was watching her matches in Tokyo. Or chasing ghosts in his dreams. Elena rose. Not quickly, not loudly, just enough to feel the cool floor under her feet. Her heart pounded in her ears. She crept to the hallway, her fingers brushing the wall, searching for balance, or maybe reassurance. At the far end of the hallway, the door was slightly ajar. Rain glistened on the marble tiles where it had blown in. She closed it, locked it, and turned around. He was there. Smiling. Wearing that same "everything is normal" expression. The one he wore at breakfast. The one that felt more like a mask than a face. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked, stepping out of the shadows. No, Shelit. Just heard something. Probably the wind, he said. This place creaks. But the villa was less than 2 years old. Villas like this didn't creak. They whispered. They hit things. They echoed footsteps that no one else could hear. Just hours earlier, the villa had seemed almost peaceful. Eggs on the stove. Orange juice on the counter. A father humming an old military tune as he flipped pancakes in a spotless, glass-encased kitchen. You're not eating, he said. Elena looked down. Her fork rested untouched beside a sunny-side-up egg. I'm just tired, she muttered. You should be. You've got the semifinals next week. Don't want to let that new agent of yours down, do you? The way he said agent made her skin crawl. Like it was a curse word. Like she'd betrayed him by speaking to anyone else. Just a year ago, she stood on center court with a trophy in her hand and his arm around her shoulder. The world called it a victory. But to Elena, it felt like a bargain she couldn't back out of. Every win, every press conference, every endorsement deal, he took the reins. I'm just protecting your brand, he'd say. But it felt more like he was absorbing it. Living through her. Like her life had become the redemption arc for a man who'd lost his own somewhere on a battlefield she could never name. That night, when he finally went to bed, she sat by her laptop, alone. The screen lit up her face, casting long shadows behind her. Her inbox was open. An email half-written. Subject: termination of management. Her finger hovered over the send button. She imagined his reaction. The way his jaw would clench. The quiet rage. He wouldn't scream. Not immediately. He was trained for restraint. But his eyes would give it away. The way they did when she missed a serve. The way they did when fans cheered her name louder than they ever had his. Elena had been planning this for months. Not just the career separation, but the escape. The entire life outside this villa. The one she could breathe in. A condo in New York. A discreet PR team. A therapist who wasn't afraid of him. But escape meant telling the truth. And the truth had claws. She began typing again. My father has been managing my career for 10 years. I'm stepping away. This is not a joint decision. She stopped. Deleted the last line. Rewrote it. I fear he won't take this well. Then paused again. Finally she typed. I don't feel safe. Her phone buzzed. A text from a blocked number. She didn't recognize the sender. You said, I can't breathe in here anymore. I think he knows. Her heart stopped. She never wrote that. Not in a message. Not to anyone. Only in her journal. Hidden in the bottom of her tennis bag. She turned around. The hallway was empty. The door looked. The house quiet. Too quiet. Like it was holding its breath. What happens when the person who raised you is also the one who owns you? When the line between father and warden blurs so gradually, you don't realize you're trapped until the walls start whispering. For Elena, that realization didn't come with a scream or a crash. It came with silence. A silence that waited. But listened. Somewhere, someone had been reading her words. Watching her. Waiting for her to make the first move. But what Elena didn't know is that he had already made his.